when you're winning. Get a goal, it's just the beginning. You gotta sing when you're winning. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. You gotta sing when you're winning. Get a goal, it's just the beginning. Sing, sing when you're winning. Everywhere you go.
Hello and welcome to episode 58 of the Sing When You're Winning, a Fantasy Football League oddity podcast featuring distant cousins of podcast royalty and a very special guest this week who we will reveal very shortly. But waiting in line for the podcast throne this week, it's myself, Jamie, and we've got Lee, and we've got Jersey Chris. There's no Steve this week because Wi-Fi is playing up on his street this Friday morning, which isn't good. But yes, we will soldier on. And Steve has shared lots of info in advance, so thank you for that. But this week, it's the return of the Ashes this Friday morning. And what a start. That's all I can say. I mean, wow, there's amazing things happening in Perth this Friday morning. We're all waking up to a hell of a start down under.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Unbelievable, really.
It couldn't have got any better. It's not been that good since Harmison bowled that wide in the first ball of the Ashes many years ago. But yes, so who are we predicting to lift the little urn? And we're not talking about Morecambe and Wise there. And what is your favourite Ashes moment? If you've got one, you might not be that bothered about cricket. I'm making an assumption that everyone on this podcast is. We'll start with you, Lee.
Favourite Ashes moment? I don't really have one. I'm not a massive cricket fan. However, just seeing Freddie Flintoff, absolutely paralytic, kind of staggering about and on the top of a bus is just enough to put a smile on anyone's face, to be honest with you. So that's my favourite Ashes moment, I guess.
Great times indeed. Thank you. And who do you think is going to win?
I think England are going to do it. I don't think Australia are the peak team that they used to be. So I'm going to say England. Why not?
Okay.
We got battered.
I hope you're right. Based on what's happening this Friday morning, I mean, who knows?
It's on the knife edge already. There's so many things going on.
It is.
I don't know what Steve would have to say about it, but it'd be
He'd probably tell us it's Wednesday night and move on. But anyway, Jersey Chris, what are your thoughts on cricket? Big cricket fan?
Yeah, I love cricket. I was going to go with Lee with Flintoff, but I actually watched something on social media this morning when Ian Botham was in Australia and he just got to the crease and then the camera went to a little banner and it says, hit your first one for 6. And guess what Botham does? Smashes it for a 6.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we're going to have that. And also, I've been watching a lot of what the Aussies are saying. They think we're stupid, thinking we're going to go over there and batter them. But we haven't beaten them the last 2 Aussies. We haven't beaten the Aussies for ages there.
We haven't.
We used to get smashed. But I fancy a 3-1 win, England.
Wow. Okay.
One's going to be a draw.
I mean, I'd love it if you were right. We're going to come on to our guest very shortly. I'll just say I think my favourite moment of the Ashes ever was just because I'm a big Durham cricket fan as well. But can you remember when the sub came on and Ponting put the ball to him and then it was a super throw in and got him run out and Ponting was fuming that this sub had dared do that. Well, that sub's name was Gary Pratt and he was a Durham cricketer. And me and maybe a couple of thousand Durham fans we all laughed because we saw what Ponting did. He was one of the best fielders in the game by a mile. And Ponting knocked it to him and ran. And I went, brilliant, he's out. It was class. So, yeah, Gary Pratt is a cracking little player, to be fair, but one of the best fielders you are likely to see in the game. And I think, I hate to say it, but I think we'll lose. I can't see that team winning down under. There's something about the Aussies down under. And there's all that talk about the prep. I just can't see us winning down there, because I think we just played that weird stranger game. I don't think we're consistent. I love Bazball, I really do, but I don't think it'll work down under. And I'm normally wrong, so let's hope I am wrong. But I can't see us winning the Ashes as much as I'd love us to. Anyway, let's move on. Let's meet this week's guest, and we'll ask him about the Ashes too. But returning to the pod this week, it's everybody's favourite Crystal Palace fan, I think that's fair to say. And FPL genius, it is Jim Daly. Woo! Woo! Hello, how are you doing this Friday morning?
I would say 2 lies in your intro there, but it's good to be here.
I can't think of a better everyone's favourite Crystal Palace fan. You can probably reel off a few, but
that's very kind. Yes, I can think of at least 11 in my head now, but I won't embarrass myself. Lovely to be back. It's been a while.
It is. But you're doing very well this season so far.
I'm doing okay. I've had better seasons. I've had worse seasons, as we all have, I think. So it's a tough one this year, I found, and I keep making a lot of bad decisions. But then that mirrors my life, so that's absolutely fine.
It is. Is it a fantasy or is it a reality? Exactly. It's your 17th FPL season, though. We'll remind you of your stats, thanks to Steve. But it's your 3rd Sing When You're Winning season. But you're up there in the Premier League already. Your first season, as if you need reminding, you were 2nd in League One with 82 points. Then you won the championship last year. I think it's fair to say you walked the championship last year. I remember that well.
Yeah.
And you're currently 6th in the Premier League. So for all you're saying that you're having an okay season, I think Jersey Chris would swap places with you in a heartbeat. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, it's been okay. I mean, people say there's a big gap between the Championship and the Premier League. They're lying. It's clearly no. I have found it tough actually. I think I lost my first 4 games of the season, so it's been a little bit of a clawback. But long way to go. Basically that was last season's. Well, and season 4's mantra was long way to go, and my wife got sick of me saying it in like FPL. So we are getting divorced. At least I'm still.
Great stuff. And just back on the Ashes then, where do you sit on the are you a big cricket fan? Do you follow it occasionally or?
I follow it a little bit. I'd say my favourite Ashes moment was probably when my granddad was cremated. I would say, and I reckon this year I think the winner will be cricket. That's what I'm predicting. I'm sticking my neck out that one. I think
cricket will be the winner for sure. But it's great to have you on. We're going to chat a little bit more in a second about tactics and things like that. But first of all, we've got some random. I mean, it is International Week as well, so let's just quickly touch on International Week. Scotland, obviously, this week. Did people see that? It was pretty impressive stuff, I thought, at the end.
I saw it. I thought the goals were fantastic, but I really couldn't give a monkeys whether they're through or not. To be honest with you, I don't get people's obsessions with like other teams or countries. Anyway, I've never kind of understood that. So,
I think done
Scotland.
I think other teams like probably want England to lose a lot, which I understand completely. But I do like what we would call like the home nations, I guess. I like to see them do well, and like Republic of Ireland as well. I think it's cracking what's happening there. And Ronaldo getting laughed off the pitch and stuff like that. Moments like that, if you were a fan in the crowd, you'll never forget that, will you?
No.
It's fantastic.
So I'm half Irish. I'll say half Irish. My dad is, by blood, he thinks he's fully Irish, but he was born in Surrey. So Irish people say you're clearly English, but his mum was born in Cork. So anyway, it's filtered down. So I call myself half Irish. It's probably about a third or a quarter. Anyway. But when it comes to international football, I am very much like Lee, and I'm not that fussed normally. And in fact, I've got plenty of jokes and songs about how much I hate the international break. But I would say this is probably the first international break that I've actually quite enjoyed, probably because it's those final group games. So there's actually something resting on it. Whereas normally, it's like, we've beaten Albania 5-0, great. No one cares. It doesn't mean anything. This actually has been in it. And but the way it's happened as well, for Scotland and for Ireland has been so dramatic. It's felt a bit Premier League-y, I think, in the way it's happened. And for the reason I've quite enjoyed it. Ireland were, as of whenever it was night, dead and buried, had to get results against Portugal and Hungary. It was never going to happen. And then Ronaldo crying was so good. It was so good. If you could script it, that's exactly what would happen. My brother lives in Dublin. He's a sports photographer. Yeah. And he got this fantastic photo of from behind Ronaldo doing the crying of all the fans, and they're all like going, "Hey, fuck off!" and doing it. And you could, it's like Renaissance. So you could like look at every different fan. It's so good. I think he might win an award for that. It's such a good photo. But I've also got a mate of mine is a comedian that lives in my town, Cheshire. Matt Winning is a Scottish comedian, and he invited me over. When was it? It was last night, wasn't it, for the game? And because very well, their bedtimes have been struggled. So bedtime's good, yeah, and it wasn't. But then I watched the game, and we're in our little dad's WhatsApp group, and at the end, he sent a video, I'm guessing taken by his wife, and he just was on the floor with his top off. And part of me was like, I probably made the right decision not going, because that would have been very awkward. What a dramatic way of doing it. I mean, I did watch it happen. Saw the bicycle from I saw the minute lob as well. I mean, if you were Scottish, that's brilliant. And obviously, being Irish, I enjoyed the other night, Sunday as well. So yeah, not too bad. We'll take it. This is 1 week of the year we're allowed to enjoy the international break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like with England as well. Let's not forget England. Obviously, Wales won 7-1. Scotland's unbelievable game. I watched that game. I thought it was absolutely great from start to finish. But England didn't concede 1 goal in the whole group. That's never been done before.
Yeah.
23 goals or 22 or 23 goals, none conceded. I mean, that's pretty good going.
Yeah, but the problem I get with England is it's not a test. Like, you can't really gauge that for me. I mean, fair play to them
as well. You get France who can playing against crap teams, and they're not battering them. Yeah,
I mean, I think there's a couple of great things coming out of England, obviously, but the fact that Harry Kane just keeps on scoring as well, he's like, it almost feels like he's getting better and better over in Germany, to be fair, without the pressure, week on week pressure of the British press. Yeah, and maybe that's in our favour come next summer, potentially.
As long as he's fit, because if he gets injured, we're absolutely knackered, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins is, as I've said before, he's not good enough. Who could step into Kane's boots at the minute?
Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, maybe. But he's to me, Calvert-Lewin's like he's not much worse than Ollie Watkins. Do you know what I mean? They're of a par. There's not that many players that could do what he's doing, and that's a big worry going towards the World Cup.
Yeah, for sure. But as you say, we're there, and we'll never hear. I mean, the thing is, it's an advertiser's dream, isn't it? With Scotland getting there, Ireland getting there, England getting there. If Wales happen to make it, it'll just be like full on PR and stuff like that. And having it in America, Canada,
Ireland are in the playoffs, which means they'll absolutely guarantee lose to Azerbaijan or someone shit. But they have only reached the playoffs. They will fuck it up.
That is true.
Still.
Cool. Let's have a look at some random stats then. Back to FPL. Random stats from the league so far. Now, player who's got the most points on his bench week in, week out is, who do we think?
What, in the Premier League or?
No, across the whole of the Sing When You're Winning leagues.
I genuinely, I might be up there. I have spent a lot of points. So I have nominated myself.
You are not there. You are not there. This person has got an impressive 167 points on his bench so far across 11 games. It's Chesney Hawkes. Chesney. So I mean, I know you're not doing well. Maybe if you had some of those players on your pitch, but yeah, 167 points going to waste there. And other notable people on there, you've got Michelle Gale with 140 points, Nikolai Costa-Waldau 134 points, and someone called Jamie Morgan with 129 points. But we will move swiftly on.
What a loser!
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Total points gained from transfers. So who's good at the transfer game? Kevin Sim with 105 points.
Steve Dunn in that.
He's not, actually. He's not. But we've got Michelle Gale's also up there as well. So what she doesn't do on the bench, she makes up for in gaining points from transfers, which is quite good.
Unless she's transferring them in and just putting them on the bench.
Maybe. Joe Derrick, who's flying high in the championship, he's 75 points. And Graham Swan, who will be certainly enjoying the cricket this Friday morning, he's got 72 points as well. The worst in total points gained from transfers. There's a Mr. Lee Cooper -6. So your transfers are doing amazing.
Well done.
I think it's fair to say.
How's that possible?
Yeah, from people you've brought in, you are there's only Ian Baker doing worse than you with minus.
I blame
8.
Kevin. I blame Kevin. That's what I blame.
Yes. So there we go. Total points gained by the benched keeper. Now that's a bit of a bad one. Anton Witter, 51 points, sits at the top of that. Dan Stewart, 39 points. And yes, none of us are on that, which is good. Number of times the benched keeper had more points than played keeper. I mean, there's some weird stats knocking about. And in 11 game weeks, Craig Wilson's had 7 out of those 11 game weeks where his benched keeper had more points than played keeper. That's unlucky, isn't it? You wouldn't be happy with that. Alistair Griffin, also 5. He's flying high in the championship. And other people, George Pearson's doing well, 5 times for him as well. And I think that's all of the random stats we're going to get for this week. But yes, just keep an eye out. Even if you think you're having a bad season and you're hiding, Steve will find a stat that can point the finger at you just a little bit more. But while we're talking tactics, the festive period is on its way. Jim, have you got any tactics for anyone listening in who might not have used their chips?
All for me.
Oh, have I got any tactics tips? Delete the app.
Yeah.
Hide that.
Just throw your phone in a river. I've maybe tried that. I don't know, to be honest. This feels like the season where everything that worked previously doesn't seem to work anymore. Like it used to be, get Haaland and a couple of good strikers. Now all the strikers are hit and miss. Then for the first few weeks of the season, it was go big at the back. Done that. Now they're all injured. Mm-hmm. So it's the one tactic I'd say is don't do transfers at the start of the international break. Don't try and catch those prices because, as we've seen with Gabriel and there's been a few others, things will happen. But I would also say if you concentrate too much on tactics, your wife will leave you. So there's a real balance, I'd say, between.
Are you quite at the Steve Wybrandt sitting down at the kitchen table on a Saturday morning and spending 2.5 hours with spreadsheets? Are you at that level?
Not quite spreadsheets, but it is. I'm very much at the ignore my children on a Saturday morning.
Right.
There used to be a soft play cafe in town that if I timed it just after my daughter did Little Kickers, I could then do 2 hours at the soft play cafe. And I could see her doing soft play with my phone in front of me and just be on Twitter and see all the leaks and the updates. But selfishly, that soft play cafe has closed. And I don't think they understand how much that's impacted my FPL season. How dare they? So now I actually have to go out and do things with my kids. So it's appalling. It's unacceptable. Yeah.
Maybe doing a search for other soft players and things like that. Maybe it might be worth the 40-minute drive to find it.
I'm tempted instead. I'm tempted possibly to retrain in sort of retail management and maybe just take over the soft play myself. It would be appalling and wouldn't be very clean and the food would be awful, but there would be an FPL corner for dads that want to do FPL.
Yeah,
exactly. 10, 12, 9 to 11 on a Saturday morning, so which is important.
That's what soft play is meant to be like anyway, like dirty, a little bit smelly, that type of thing anyway.
Exactly. The smell of E. coli is what attracts people in for it.
Hot dogs and E. coli.
Lovely. But AFCON is on the way as well, so we need to remind people, because I know there's a lot of chat going on around this at the moment, but immediately after the game week 15 deadline at 11 o'clock GMT on Saturday the 6th of December, your total number of free transfers will be topped up to the maximum possible number of 5. So if you've got 3 transfers of it, it'll go up to 5. So basically use as many transfers as you can before that moment, because then you'll get 5 for free. So don't save your transfers unless you're happy with your team, of course. So yes, that will happen immediately after the deadline on game week 15, ahead of game week 16, and we're going into game week 12. So there's a couple of weeks to go. So if you've got transfers lurking there in your app, use them. And we've said this so many times: if you've got chips available, use them or lose them before the middle of like Christmas and New Year, I think, is that moment in time. And if you do want to use your transfers, who would you replace Gabriel with, if anyone's got him? Who you're looking to replace?
I've got Calafiori, but he's injured as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
It's like everybody's
for sure.
the international break. Gay's injured, so all kind of the top defenders are like on the backside, and it's like Semenyo injured, and like the players that people have relied on for quite a few weeks. There's going to be a bit of trouble, I think. So
Make it
these
interesting, though. It might
be a differentiator in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Exactly. Jim, what are your thoughts?
Apparently, Semenyo, and again, this is how I know I spend too much time on FPL Twitter, but I saw a tweet today that he got engaged. So I think he may not be injured. I think he may have left the international cap to get engaged. That might be wrong.
70
broken a bone.
Chance of playing, ankle injury.
He may have possibly, as he went down one knee, he may have twisted his ankle. I can't rule that out. But he was smiling in the photo, and there was no like foot brace. So let's assume that he's fit. Gay, I think, will play. This is not like Palace Insider or anything, but I think he will play because he basically went to England. Palace sent him to England, and he's got an injury, and England went, well, let us be the judges of that. Had him for half an hour and went, you're right, he's got an injury, and sent him back. So he's not done any training or playing. And that 2-week break. So I think Palace are quite confident he'll be back. I do have Gabriel. Obviously, he's out for 6 weeks, 5, 6 weeks or something crazy.
Yeah, 2 months even, yeah.
I was tempted to keep him, but I think he'll lose loads of money in value. Yeah. So I think the wise move is to get rid of him and then buy him back in a couple of weeks' time for cheaper. Yeah. Assuming you've had him for a while and you've built up value, which I don't think I have actually. But the boring pick is Virgil van Dijk. Who is one of my most hated. I think he's I got a lot of opinions about him. I won't go into them here, but I got opinions. But he's like the safe bet. If you're gonna like not lose the sort of the EO battle too much, and they do have the fixtures are turning for Liverpool now, so they do have really good fixtures. Yeah. I'm still not convinced by their defence. I think they're really struggling to replace Trent. Bradley's been okay, but he's obviously not the same player. Kirk has been shit at left back. So like they are struggling a bit, but he gets a lot of DEFCON points, and he'll probably pop up with the odd header or two. Yeah, I've already got Senesi, I've already got Lacroix, and I've got Munoz, which I think if you follow all the FPL nerds, which I do, and I love them, by the way, that's not criticism. I am one of them. On the list of like who's the best replacements, it is your likes of Senesi and Lacroix and Munoz because of the fixtures and because of the DEFCON and all that. And I think there probably are sexier picks out there. I'm just not a very ambitious FPL player, so I will probably be going for Virgil van Dijk, but I will be living vicariously through anyone else in this chat if they're going with anyone a bit sexier.
No, I think sometimes you just got to go steady and safe, haven't you? And Gabriel is steady and safe, so replace him with someone similar. I think Van Dijk's probably.
But Van Dijk is basically the sort of the missionary position of the replacement, so it's a bit of an insight into but missionary's fun. It's been fun.
I mean, I've got Timber in my side from Arsenal. He scores quite a lot of points, to be fair, as a defender. He pops up. He has some very strong weeks. Saying that, he only got 1 point last time out against Sunderland, but none of them did particularly well.
Can I ask you though, because I agree about Timber. Do you guys think that without Gabriel, Arsenal defence will be less attractive?
That is a good point.
Yep.
That is a good point. They've got some tough games coming up with obviously North London Derby that we're going to come on to talk about shortly. Chelsea away, and then Brentford again. Brentford this season, you don't know what you're going to get. So, the next 3 games aren't looking pretty for Arsenal. And you wonder if the doubts will be in the head after they blew it late on against Sunderland as well. So, yes, any Arsenal fans, sorry, I'm pissing on your chips there a little bit. But I do think it might not be all plain sailing for them. Cool. So let's have a look back at the thing when you're winning leagues in Steve's absence. We'll just look at some upcoming fixtures this weekend, some tasty fixtures. Jim, you're at home to Rick Witter, who's 11th in the league. So you've got a game against Rick this weekend, and there's a big relegation 6-pointer I've been asked to point out. Would that involve you, Chris, at all?
I think so. Yeah, it sounds like
you're playing Neil Martin, who's in 21st.
Well, good luck, Neil. But you're going to lose.
So yeah, I'm not even at this stage of the season. That's a must-win. I think
It
for
is a
you.
must-win. I've been bricking it for the last 2 weeks. I'm just like, right, I need to look at my team.
So we'll look forward to next week's
Next week.
and hope that you've got 3 points. Sorry, Dale, but yeah, we've got to cheer you on, Jersey Chris. Come on. But the big game in that division is first against third. Adam Devlin is playing Mark Summerton. So that'll be a huge game in that league. Going down to the championship, we have got Joe Derrick, who is flying high this season in the championship. He's doing phenomenal. He's away to Michelle Gale in 18th. So, but Michelle's doing quite well. She's got quite a lot of points. The head-to-head is not working out for her. So that one could be tricky. Lee, you're playing Jamie Hurst, who's in a place above you in 15th. So you could look to move up a place there. And just having another look further down, Cole is hoping to win against Carl Sewell, our sponsor. So sorry, Cole, there's only one team that we'll be cheering for there. We've got to do it.
I believe Cole was the Timu version of me last week.
Yes, Cole was game for a laugh last week. He was very good value. If you've not heard the pod from last week, it's an entertaining one. There were lots of good stories.
He enjoyed watching The Peacemaker, didn't he?
Well, yes, I was about to say. Which reminds me, what was the film? Did you know the film? And
it was The Peacemaker. Yeah. I told his wife. I snitched on him.
What, you told his wife that he was watching an?
Yeah, that he was having a.
I mean, I might edit that bit out as well, in keeping with last week's.
Okay, then do that. And I'd say Virgil van Dijk isn't missionary. I'd say he's a posh. He's not as good as missionary.
I agree. I agree. I think that's a much better comparison. Yeah, I completely agree.
I think that horn's going to make another appearance in the edit. Very good stuff. Right, into League One very quickly, just having a look. You've got a top of the table clash. Ben Halliwell is playing Dave Atkins, who's in 6th. And then down the bottom, we've got Craig Wilson in 20th. He's playing Phil Qua, who's in 14th. So there could be some movement there. And Sophie Ridge is playing Vicky Sparks, 13th against 16th in that league. And in the National League Conference, whatever we're calling it at the moment, Chesney is going for a win against Alfie Witter, who's doing quite well. So we'll see how Chesney gets on there. And at the top, George Pearson plays Rob Lally from Lottery Winners, although Lottery Winners are out on tour. So I think they've said before when they tour, they're not always on top of the game. So that might help George.
Convenient excuse, though, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit. And Jack Bandera, who's in second, is also playing Neil Poynton, who's in 11th as well. There's a couple of people breaking away, I think, at the top of that league. So yeah, we will we'll see how they get on. And we're now going to have a look at who the hell knows as well. Fixture predictions, as we always do. Just quickly looking back last week, we went for York against Morecambe. The score was 4-2. And Steve was the closest there. He went for 4-0. I went for 6-1, which people laughed at, but there was still lots of goals in that game. Greece against Scotland. I was the only one who went for a Greece win, and I was right, but it was 3-2, not 2-1. And Albania, England, you all got carried away and went 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. I went 2-1, and we all know the score was 2-0. So yes, let's see this week. We're going to start with your team, Jim, against the Boo, Hiss, Snake, Rat, whatever you want to call him. Wolves against Palace. There we go.
I'm going to this game, so I'm looking forward to it. Because of where I live in Buckinghamshire, Wolverhampton's quite difficult for me. For any of those sort of games up the M40, up the M1. So I'm driving up with my mate Isaac, who's a BBC reporter, top bloke. Although he's never spent 3 hours in the car with me, so we'll see how that goes. He may well block me out, but we'll see. You've got to be expecting a Palace win, really, but it's not guaranteed. New manager. Why we always get teams with a new manager? Like, it's amazing how many times that happens to us. I don't think their team's very good, so hopefully the bounce won't happen. And we are very, very, very good, and that's mad to say as a Palace fan, but we are our first 11 is our manager is excellent. We were good against Brighton, to be fair. Probably could have got something, but I think a draw was a fair result. We're doing Europe again, another mad thing for a Palace fan of 35 years to be saying. If Gay's back fit, as far as I'm aware, everyone else is fit. I think if our first 11 plays, Mateta scored an international duty for France, so I'll go for. I don't think it'll be massive. I'll go for 2-0 Palace.
2-0 Palace. Okey-doke. And do you think? I mean, I think it's probably an obvious question, but is this the greatest Palace team of a generation of all time over the last couple of years? Would you go that far? Or?
It's close, but the 2006 Championship team under Peter Taylor, I think with Shefi Kugi up front, I think was slightly better.
Okay. No,
I'm joking. That was fucking terrible. Of course, this is the best. This is easily the greatest. We've won 2 trophies this year. I never thought I'd live to see us win anything. It's the greatest team, easily the greatest manager we've had in terms of not just what he's delivered us, but the football he's also brought us. You could go through the team and argue most of those players are that Dean Henderson, probably our best ever goalkeeper. Mark Gahey, definitely our best centre back. Danny Munoz, definitely our best right back. Adam Wharton will probably end up being our best central midfielder. Mateta, probably our best ever Premier League striker. You could argue Ian Wright was better, but didn't play Premier League for us. There's just an abundance of quality in there. So, yeah, these are great times to be a Palace fan. They won't last forever, which is why I'm remortgaging my house to go to every European game this season. Really hoping they go out in the group stage, because otherwise I am absolutely screwed if they get qualified for the next round. But yeah, it's a great time to be a Palace.
No, it's great. I think I said last time you on. I've always liked Palace. I think they're one of those teams that most people, unless you're a Brighton fan and possibly a few others, like what's to dislike about Palace? And I think it's brilliant to watch. And
I think
the FA Cup.
I can answer two words. I think previously when he played for us, I think if you said the words Wilfried Zaha, people would have a reason. People would seem to dislike Will for some reason. And he was very much like he was very passionate, but he came across as a bit of a sometimes. But he was our prick. He was our South London prick, and we loved him and he loved us. I think now, if you look at the squad, you've just got likable players front back. Gahey, excellent, very, very likable. Wharton, likable. Mateta, very, very fun. Ismail Assar, the quietest kid on the playground, unbelievable player. So, and we've got a very likable, smart, erudite manager as well. And our chairman does very, very well on in the media as well. So we've got a likable team, good fans, and we're playing good football. Again, it won't last forever, but right now it's all kind of like, it's all perfect storm really. So yeah, good times. Yeah,
long may it continue for sure.
Yeah, I think the way Gay handled himself over the summer, with the transfer stuff compared to the way other players did, just kind of shows you it kind of reflected the whole team, I think, and I think that's why Palace are doing so well. They do come across as a team. It was almost like he was had to go to be like interviewed for a new job, but he actually didn't want it. He couldn't be asked. He was quite happy where he was, and kind of it reflected in the whole team. I think they are one of those teams, like Jamie said, that Palace, they're inoffensive but very good. It's not like they're inoffensive because they play shit football or they're not a threat to anybody. They're just like really, like a decent team. So yeah,
they're absolutely.
And the ground's as well. The ground's brilliant.
Well, that's rare. Most people hate the ground, so that's nice to hear from an opposition fan, because most people complain about it being difficult to get to and all that. But we love it. It's got character. It's one of the few Premier League grounds that's still got. I think the Gahey thing is really interesting, and it's always interesting to get sort of outside Palace views on that kind of thing. I do think that the club intentionally try and buy players that fit into the mentality of this, and that basically a no dickheads policy. And I do think they are trying to do that. And you're right, the way he's handled himself, there is definitely a wider discussion around it. There's a real big religious presence in the Palace team, and I'm not religious, but you can see that's been a real background. Apparently, like Thursdays are like Bible club and stuff like that, and the choir is like leading Bible study. And again, it's not my thing, but you can see that they really do play for each other. And I was told that Gahey was very much like, when it came to the Liverpool thing, he was like, it's in God's hands. And so that's what wasn't really pushing for it. He was like, if it will happen, it will happen. If it doesn't, it will happen at some point, kind of thing. And I think that's quite I quite respect that, actually. It's quite a way to live your life. again, even though it's me. And as a result, it's brought him so much love with the Palace fans. So if he does go next summer, and he probably will now 4-0, he's going to go with. I mean, he lifted up the FA Cup, so he could wear a Brighton shirt and shit in the middle of Selhurst Park. But like he will, because of the way he's conducted himself, he will go with our best wishes because he's been an absolute consummate pro from start to finish.
Brilliant. No, they're just very, very likable club, and more so at the moment. As I said, them winning the FA Cup was one of my more recent highlights in football. To be fair, it was such, and I'm sure it was your greatest day out ever, probably. But yeah, so good.
Amazing, just amazing day. Got to celebrate my dad and my brother, who I said lives in Dublin, so he flew over. My brother-in-law, all my best mates. It was just, we'll live long in memory. Good stuff.
Lee, what do you think? Wolves Palace.
I'll go 3-0 Palace.
Palace.
Wolves are awful.
Yeah, and they're getting a manager who did a good job, but I'm not going to be one of those fans who are like, oh, he was rubbish. But I think I said a couple of weeks on here that he knew things were starting to slide, and I don't actually blame him for what he's done, to be fair. But he was getting found out. And I think he's got a free shot. If they get relegated, everyone expected them to get relegated anyway, and he can rebuild and see how he gets on in the Championship. But I do not think tactically, I'm not particularly a big fan, to be fair. So I agree. I think they'll be there for the taking. I think Palace will probably win 3-1. I think it could be one of those moments where, the new manager gets a lucky goal and everyone gets excited in the first 3 or 4 minutes and goes, oh yeah, he's come back and it's all amazing. And then it'll be like funny from my point of view to then watch them all go pear-shaped. But yes, so I'm going to go 3-1 Palace. Chris, how about you?
I think if Palace play their under-21s, they're still going to batter Wolves. I don't think Rob Edwards is the man for Wolves, unfortunately for them. I think physically, Crystal Palace are far superior than most Premier League teams. They've been really exciting to watch as well. So I'm going to see a battering now. I'm going to go 5-0.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go big.
Great away day for you, Jim.
Oh, I can't wait. We're going to be flying down the M40 after that. Isaac's never going to want to get in the car with me again. I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant.
No, we'll all keep our fingers crossed for a Palace win on Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday night, huge game on Sky. I'm quite excited about this. Newcastle against City. It's like a proper 5:30 exciting Saturday night kickoff. Go back to you, Chris. What do you think? Newcastle City.
Yes, I mean, Newcastle haven't been playing well at the moment, have they? And I think City have turned that corner we were speaking about the last couple of weeks. I think they're in their groove now. I think Arsenal might dip over the weekends. Liverpool have been up and down, and I think City will be really pumped up for this. I think they're going to be too strong for Newcastle. 3-1 City.
3-1 City. Okay, I'm going to go 4-1 City for the record. Jim, how about you?
I think City will win it. As Chris says, they are sort of in their groove now. I'm just looking at some of the team news and stuff like that. I can't really. I don't know what. Not reliable anymore, so I have no idea. I might as well just like pluck players out of the air. I did see on Twitter that Haaland hasn't got the best record against Newcastle, but to be honest, the form he's in this season, that could mean absolutely nothing. Newcastle's defense had been quite good, hadn't it? It had been quite tight. So I part of me feels like it might maybe not be an absolute hounding, but I think City will have too much. If Doku and Foden, the problem with City is Haaland's good, but it's those players around him. Cherky looked good. He'd been injured. He's now back. But if Doku turns up, if Foden turns up, if Cherky gets Marmoush is back now, those players start playing well, then I think City do well because Haaland can't do it on his own. But if they're good, he will then hopefully have the law to then go and do better. So depends on those fringe players, but I mean, Doku looked brilliant in their last game. So I'll go 3-1 City.
3-1 Cities. We've got 2 3-1 Cities. Lee, you going to book the trend and go for a Geordie win on Saturday night?
No, I'll go 3-3 because I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of those games.
Excellent.
Like everyone said, City are just on fire at the minute, but you can never write the Geordies off, can you?
You can't.
I mean,
but
they're 14th at the minute, aren't they, or something like that? And I know City beat them in the FA Cup and everything, but just be nice to see one of those 3-3, 4-all games, and that's the sort of game that bring it out, I think.
Newcastle have always got it in the locker. It wouldn't surprise me if they did that, but based on recent performances, if it wasn't for the Champions League, I think Hull would be under a bit more pressure, to be honest with you. But if I'm a Newcastle fan, I'd take what he's doing in the Premier League and just take survival this season. I think that's what a lot of Newcastle fans are thinking. Enjoy the ride in the Champions League and see what happens.
I am planning on transferring Voltemada out for Thiago, so that will guarantee a couple of goals for him. So it may well end up.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing the same thing as well. So yeah, it's nailed on then.
Do it, Jamie. I'll bring him in. Thank you.
It's guaranteed. It's nailed on. Right, Super Sunday. Very quickly. Arsenal Spurs. What do you think, Lee? You've got to come to you.
I do think the Gabriel thing is going to hit Arsenal a bit. I am going to go 2-1 to Spurs. We just seem to be crap at home at the minute, and it's just it's a Spursy thing to do. Spursy can be good or bad, and I think 2-1 to Spurs.
Okay.
And I've also put a bet on them losing as well in my other things, so I've got to be right in one of them then.
Yeah, that is true. Is that the reverse psychology? Put a bet on it and hope it comes up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the way. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I think it'll be hard work for them, but I think Spurs are a poor side this season. Still, they're better than they were last season, but I still think Arsenal will have just enough to overcome. Jim, how about you, Arsenal Spurs?
This is a really hard one, isn't it? I'm interested to hear Arteta's presser is tomorrow, maybe Friday, because I think it depends on who's available. I think if Timber and Calafiori play, then I would probably back Arsenal. I think Gyökeres possibly has a fitness issue as well. So it really depends who's playing. Spurs are a funny one. Like they're sometimes good, sometimes bad. I mean, they had that game against United. They should have beaten Man United basically in their last game. Off that last minute equaliser, but I think I'm probably still going to go Arsenal. There's something about them this season that just feels like they are winning those games that, dare I say the C word, that champions win.
Yeah,
and you're not playing brilliant, and they seem to be doing that, and they're having a few. It's almost like back to 1-0 to the Arsenal sort of these things. So I think they'll probably get over the line in this one, but I don't think it'll be pretty. I think it'll be a happy North London derby. So I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, something like that.
2-1, yeah. I could, yeah. For me, that's what I think. It's a scrappy one. I think a couple of weeks ago they might have done them a little bit more, but
Can
I make a prediction? I think the goals will be like really unhelpful FPL goals. It'll be like Zubamendi assisted by Lewis Daly, and then everyone's like, "What was the point of that?"
Good stuff. Right, Chris, what do you think?
I think I know about this one. As you've been talking, I'm just thinking, I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be 2-2. But as I'm kind of listening to everyone, I like Spurs. I've got kind of a soft spot for Spurs for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they play in white like Leeds. But yeah, now I'm gonna back Spurs. I'm gonna go 1-0 Spurs, and it's going to be a bit of a boring, scrappy game as well.
Okay, 1-0 Spurs. Well, we shall see on Sunday. But yeah, I'm surprised we've got a couple of people going for Spurs there, to be fair.
I think Arsenal, they just again, I know like last season they were missing the striker, which would have changed their season, and they brought in Gyökeres, but they've got 3 strikers out injured, which is never a good sign when you've basically got 3 strikers. So I just don't know. I don't know. I think this might be the one that Spurs win. Out of all the games, it's just kind of a Spursy thing to do.
Yeah. No,
we can be absolute dog muck against Wolves, and we can turn on the performance against Arsenal. It's just typical, isn't it? So,
but that's the beauty of football, isn't it? As a fan, like you're not going to win the league. You're probably not going to win a trophy. But if you can beat Arsenal when they're riding high and mess up their title chances, what better feeling come 6:30, 7 o'clock on Sunday night?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's what's so good about it. Cool. Well, thank you for all of your predictions. We're going to play a bit of a ChatGPT quiz now. So, Jim, have you listened to us in season 2? Have you seen the 100 question format?
I don't think I have. 100 questions sounds a lot, guys. I need to be out of it. So I got.
Yeah, well, you'll be pleased to know you pick a number. We're going to do 2 rounds, and if it's a tie, we'll do a quick 3rd round. But just we've got about 5 minutes, so we're going to do a quick game right now. You pick a number between 1 and 100, and we see at random. It could be the easiest question in the world. It could be the hardest question in the world. It's ChatGPT, and this week it's all about FIFA World Cup qualifiers. So it could be really impossible stuff. So we'll start with you, Jim. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
77.
77. I'm scrolling. It is. Which country qualified for the 2014 World Cup after a bribery scandal in qualifiers? They were an African side. I'll give you a clue.
Oh my word. That's 11 years ago. Since then, I've got married and had 2 children, and there's been a global pandemic. So to be honest, my memory is going to be.
They're a very well-known African side in the world in World Cup terms.
Okay, that's a good clue. So one of the big ones. I'll go Nigeria.
It's Cameroon.
No.
They were later cleared of any bribery, just to be clear.
Yeah, just
anyone thinking that was a thing. All right, Lee, over to you. Pick the number.
I will go for 71.
71. Which country withdrew from the 1950 qualifiers due to boot regulations?
Boot regulations. I couldn't even guess. Uruguay.
No, India, believe it or not. And I'd love to know what the boot regulations were. Where they weren't
leather cows.
Well, they had to wear boots, probably.
Yeah. Did they not play
leather
barefoot or something like that? I'm going to Google that now.
Who knows? Chris.
25.
25. Okie doke. Scrolling all the way up. Which team famously qualified in 1950 after beating England?
USA.
It was USA. There you go. 1 point to you. You're in the lead. Jim, give us a number.
7. I'll stick on my 17.
Number 7 is. Which confederation has the fewest spots?
The one Australia's in, and it's something like Oceania.
It is bang on. Well done. Yes, they're usually guaranteed 1 spot. So yes, well done for that one. 1 point to you, Lee.
I will go for 4.
4. Name the 6 continental confederations involved in qualifiers.
Europe, Oceania, CONCACAF.
CONCACAF. I'm reading this.
CONCACAF.
I'll give you the point. I'll give you the point. There's no way. It was AFC, CAF, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, Oceania, and UEFA. There we go.
They all sound like World Cup mascots.
They do. This is
sounds like I've lent on my keyboard. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So, Chris, over to you. Can you get 1 ahead?
29.
29. If you get this, you have won. Otherwise, we'll do a final quick round. Which team qualified for 2022 World Cup after 64 years?
2022 World Cup. 60. After how many years?
64.
Australia?
It was Wales. It was right. A very quick round then, because it's 1-1-1. We'll find a couple of minutes. Jim, over to you. Pick a number.
17.
17 is. What is the FIFA rankings role in qualifiers?
Role in qualifiers?
So what does the FIFA ranking do in qualifiers?
It's seeds where the teams.
Exactly. It's as simple as that. You're right. Well done. This is what you get.
Boring
Random numbers.
question.
So you've gone 2-1 ahead. Lee, can you pull it back?
I'll go for number 1.
Oh, you know if you go number 1 in these quizzes, it's silly. How often are FIFA World Cup qualifiers held?
Normally every 4 years.
Yes, you're right. We're gonna have to have a tie, aren't we? Chris, see if you can join them on 2.
10.
What is the what is the main purpose of qualifiers?
Go to the World Cup.
Bloody nonsense. This is why
You might as well
ChatGPT
have
should
said,
be
"What's
allowed.
your
I only
name?"
went that low because of Lee.
Garbage. I hate ChatGPT right now. There we go. Thank you for joining us on another random episode of Sing When You're Winning. Thanks to you, Jim. We wish you all the best this weekend. And
Thank
also
you.
it's for the rest of the season. You're 6th. Can you get the title? We'd love someone from the championship to go up and get the title. And good luck for Palace as well this season. We're all rooting for you to continue having a good one and smash Wolves at the weekend. Thanks to you, Lee. Thanks to you, Chris. And yes, they think it's all over. It is for another week. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at SWYW_FPL. Watch it on YouTube. Leave us a comment and we will see you next week. Enjoy your footballing week. Keep on singing and keep on winning. Goodbye.
Bye.
Get out of my podcast.